If you got that Diana, you got a Kaya in the back, you got someone with a bow to go up against this greatsword, this is definitely the time to do it as we load up into game one. Swata manages to pick up the first weapon, has some blasters in hand.
So before the action gets too intense, if it does interrupt you, get a little bit into details as to why bow is so preferred against greatsword, which is kind of the flavor of the month right now.
So bow has D-Light. I'm gonna say that straight up.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's so good. It comes out quicker than Greatsword D-Light does, and Greatsword D-Light shoves its hurt box forward first before the hitbox comes out, so it can't challenge it. If you throw them out at the same time, the bow D-Light is going to win every single time, but also Greatsword can be susceptible to getting juggled. If you can't land, you can't get your grounded opener started, you can't really get much going.
Yeah, I feel like that's the standard heavy weapon / heavy character stick, is that, oh, you hit really hard, but you have trouble getting back to the ground once you start getting juggled. So that's very interesting, because bow also is very good at that with the Nair, as you stated. And now we see Swata on the bow going up against the greatsword and not being able to get any of those openers in, as Simple just knocks the bow right out of his hands and gets poised to take the first stock. Let's see if Swata is able to make a difference here with the blasters, as that Deadlight hits, but I think they were both surprised that it hit.
Yeah, and it's interesting watching the different Greatsword players throughout the tournaments for these past couple weekends, because there are some Greatsword players like Simple here who will go for like the optimal route, right? Like he goes for the end light finisher every time instead of the side light finisher, even though the last patch did make it so there are a lot of scenarios where you can go for that side light finisher after the down light bridge and still make it unjumpable, but it's hard to tell what those scenarios are, and it looks like Simple is the kind of player who's not even going to take that chance.
Yeah, and now that you mention it that way, that really just reflects on Simple's playstyle in general. Like, he is the kind of hammer player that will go for D-Light Cider 5 times in a row because it's option, right? Like, eventually it's going to lead it to the knockout. So, no creative mix-ups there. Simple trying to get these sidelight openers in. He does get one, doesn't get the dodge read, but he keeps putting it out, and he's dashing back to stay to safety. But there's the downlight you're talking about, hit into the recovery. Down air doesn't hit Simple, doesn't use the recovery. Instead, holds out for the side air. Very creative play. Is he going to be able to get a stock here? That's a down air. I think Swata is done.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when Swata was drifting toward the stage there. I really thought he was going to press that neutral air button, because it was kind of clear that this was going to be a moment where Simple was going to aggress, and now Simple is getting the hits in, has Swata in the last stock. Swata doesn't have an answer at all. The ground pound. He's going crazy right now. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think he had to turn that around to hit it. It's not quite stacked on where the hurt box is for the player on that ground pound, so Swata survives, but I say that, he gets hit with the side stick. Is this about to be a 3-stock in game number 1? No, D-Light recovery, still not enough. Demon Island. He's got quite a tall ceiling. Oh, that's it. Okay, Swata got destroyed. And it was really close on that first stock, too. And then he never hit him again.
Yeah, honestly though, he did not have a good time. Swata, I mean, I think you said it best. There were signs of, pulling out the right ideas, trying some new strategies, but they were not effective by any means against the greatsword of Simple. Simple seemed very, very comfortable. We have a swap over to Cassidy. I think Swata's saying, you know what, bow's great and all that, but I don't feel comfortable there. I did like the blasters though, but I'm going to swap over to the hammer, which honestly, it can work. It's the kind of thing where if you spot dodge on a greatsword that likes to just kind of press forward the entire time, you can very easily get yourself a D-Light or an N-Light, because they're just kind of right next to you, and they don't really have an option if they're doing, let's say, like an N-Light bridge after a side light or something. It's kind of a dead zone for the weapon, but it's still very hard. Oh my gosh, he really just did that.
Yeah, well, just one way to stop momentum was the weapon throw. I like what you mentioned about how Hammer can deal with greatswords slightly by doing like a dodge and place stop or something like that. Or even for a lot of other weapons, greatsword I feel like has a weakness to where so many of their moves lurch the hurt box forward that if you dash forward with them, you end up getting behind them in a place where they can't really cover you, and that's when you can get a lot of those punishes with like hammer down light or any combo starter really. It's just try to get behind them as they go for an opener, whether it's down light like so, or side light, and then get some more damage in. We're going to see if Swata is able to do that with the hammer here. Simple doesn't get the dodge read, but he does get the damage. Oh, Swata got lucky that he reversed that recovery. Simple is just trying to take him off the top right now. Oh, the weapon throw!
Didn't even matter.
Didn't matter at all. Like, beautiful recovery from Simple. Not literally, well, and literally, but like to recover from getting interrupted and then being able to hit the neutral sig. great job, but Swata might be able to stop another 3-stock if he's able to get the side air. Oh, he went for the recovery.
Oh, and he gets a great sword. You gotta get the KO now, buddy. He has the blasters in hand.
You saw what happened last time. You wasted his dodge there going for a D-Light. Oh, the down stick doesn't hit. He gets one downer, but Simple makes it back. Maybe. He stared into the wall, but he did get all his jumps back. Downers are coming out, and this is eerily similar to what happened last game. Swata barely lost the first stock, went for something crazy off stage, and a great sword down air ended his second stock, which Simple's definitely looking for. Neutral stick hits instead, and it's 3 stocks to 1 once again. Is Swata going to take a single stock off Simple in this entire best of 5?
I hope so, man. I really do. And there's moments where, like, because Simple, he's not really the kind of player that goes for 2 hits in the string into like a reset, right? He goes for the side light and then he immediately goes for the read, right? And for someone who does something like that, if you wake up with a gravity cancel, they just get hit. You know, because they get hit as they're dashing forward. If he goes for like a gravity cancel like side sig on wake up, which sounds ridiculous, it will completely just smack Simple in the face. And he hasn't given Simple a reason to respect that option at all. Hold on. Gimp potential? Nope. We out.
Okay, Simple doesn't get the return hit though. Swata makes it back. He did take a stock, but gravity cancel down, like covered both the left and right side of Simple. Great job there. Neutral stick dodged right through. 1 stomp there for Swata, but that dodge is gone. That means it's a recovery time for Simple. No! Neutral stick and the gravity cancel down light again. Into the great sword recovery. I mean, one more though. Okay, yeah, that's just brutal. And cool thing about the great sword. Heavy move. It's not quite as strong as if you went through the motions on the ground, but you still get the effect in the air. And we saw Simple twice use the gravity cancel down sig to great effect because you also get a little bit of a descending property when you use it. So you get this whirlwind, covers the left and right of you, can get a lot of dodge in reads. Really well used by Simple. And Swata continues to struggle to get any mileage in this best of 5.
Yeah, we see the swap over to the Fate here, which, if you're going down the list of like things that can counterplay Greatsword, Orb is definitely up there as well. It does have a pretty solid matchup into the weapon, but still, you know, the issue here, I feel like, is Swata just isn't finding the KOs. I don't actually think when it comes to playing the neutral game around the weapon, he's actually doing a pretty fine job. Then when it comes time to clean up, he's not able to execute. Oh my gosh. So dodge up one more time, see how that works out for you. Alright, and here we go. Looks like Swata over here going for the recovery, trying to get a quick one off stage. This is not good for Swata. Luckily, the recovery manages to get him out of that precarious scenario, but still looking for more here. I like that gravity cancel neutral light. That downer is great. Has him unarmed. Tries to go for the edge guard, and this gives Simple a chance to pick up a weapon, and that's all he needed there. The side sig coming out, the pocket sand securing that first stock, but Swata here needs to find the KO. This is the exact scenario we've seen the past 2 games. It's relatively even. Swata loses the stock first and never makes it back. And if you've seen me on Twitter recently, I've been saying, Scythe, man, this weapon, you're not going to find a KO with the base kit, all right? You got to get that soft side light into Sarah off stage, or you got to find a signature KO, and there we go. The shotgun still not hitting hard enough because it's a coast-to-coast conversion there. Not enough to find that KO. Swata still struggling to find that final hit.
All right, man, Swata in the same position as he's been in the past few games. 3 stocks to 1, under 2 minutes. Simple just destroying every single character that he brings out against him. And Swata now looking for a weapon against Simple on the greatsword. Oh no, it was looking pretty bad for a second.
Oh, it's still looking pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to like rate it. I'm trying to rate it on like, can you take another stock? Swata takes his second stock of the set. And gives a little bit of a celebration cheer there.
Yeah, a little hip hip hooray, but
yeah, I think he's starting to realize how dire this is for him, and not to mention how great Simple looks to be able to possibly take the entire thing as that recovery comes through, and he takes down Swata convincingly, more than convincingly. Whatever the word is that states without a doubt, like that was just utterly one-sided.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Yeah, there really isn't much more to say, but my man got clapped up. Like, he was trying his absolute hardest, but honestly, I felt like he just fell into, like, habits quite a bit there, dodging up time after time when he would see that Simple was going for these recoveries after his string to catch the dodge up. He'd get caught every single time. He'd be jumping out of hit stun immediately, and it was making it a little bit too easy for Simple to sniff out his defensive options. Now, granted, he tried everything, right? You can't be mad at Swata there.